What you know about that Rango? That Rango. have you
miss
guys.
you guys.
I'll put our audio up, but we'll still have the chill wave playing in the background for a second here. What's happening?
All kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Just, we're together.
Yes,
Again.
I know. I've been super duper flaky. I'm cutting. I've been super duper flaky on the show. So like, I can understand how people at this point have been like, I don't even know if it does the show anymore or not.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Life be
It's
lifing
your
sometimes.
show. You can do it if you want to.
I'll take a break if I want to. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's no point in forcing it.
Nah,
you know?
nah. If it doesn't, if it's not feeling right, then I'm not going to do it because clearly none of us are here for the paycheck, and so
Yeah. What?
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I got to really want it, and sometimes it's just not in the cards, and that's been a little bit more often the last month. I'd say. What's that?
Well, you've been busy too, right?
Yas, been
I
busy.
just want to play video games with my friends.
Yeah, that too. I get home from the shop and it's like I'm just cooked, and all I want to do is just play games and chill.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to do that after a day of work. So
Yeah. So there's a show tonight. Yeah. See, yeah, you nailed it, dude. Exactly.
yeah, exactly.
No promotions, no like, oh, we're back from our big hiatus flyer or anything. Like, it's just going to be the people that like either have notifications turned on or are just randomly on Twitch on a Wednesday evening and they see us live and they're like, oh, tight. They're live.
Or they like no because they're like the VIPs. Some of
Right.
them, there's a couple of those.
And they're like, no, because they don't like this show. And that's totally fine.
They said no.
They're like, yeah,
Nah,
not tonight. There's no drum and bass happening. Nope, we're good.
nah. DJs not DJing. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
What is that all about? Right? Yeah. Let me fix this real quick here.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
No, we good. We good. I'm gonna turn my microphone up a little bit to be on the level with y'all.
Yeah, and I'm always loud because I talk
Get on my
loud. So
level.
you can turn me down if you want, please.
I can't. That's the problem.
Oh, you
So
can't?
let's
Can I
see
turn
here.
myself down?
You probably
I
could. Let's
Yeah, I
see.
like to do that
I'm just gonna gain myself up a little bit.
because I get excited and then I get louder.
Oh, you're fine. It's all good. Yes, or obsessively on my page, like you have a tab open, Froggy. That would be scary and appreciated.
It's a little creepy.
But also nice to have somebody care that much.
I
You just
have-
randomly started hearing this chill wave in the background. You're like, wait a second, what's that coming from?
on my Google Chrome like tabs, when on my desktop when I open a tab, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 little, what are they called? Like
Bookmarks?
little bookmarks, like quick little bookmarks. QuickBooks is one of them because I like to get paid.
Yeah.
YouTube is one because I like to watch some shit.
Yeah, we all do we be doing that.
Twitch is one,
Okay.
and the fourth one
916.
is the 916 Junglist Twitch channel.
Yeah.
Oh.
A direct link. It's
Aw.
great that you have that because I put in the search 916 and you think that because like I've done it like every week for the last I don't know how many years, it would just come up. But no, I have to type in Jungle List for it to come up. Like,
You gotta add that jung. Shit. Should we test the screen sharing thing with something quality? Let's see. There's so much to pull from. Like there
ridiculous.
was like, because I mean Fader and I are nonstop sending each other links, and I haven't looked at a single fucking one. And at this point, like some some of them are probably like old hat. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know.
It's like EDC. What happened?
Yeah, right.
It's like
You ever heard
months
this song
ago.
Badadon?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's how far back it's going. Let me see what I got here. Okay.
I mean, you're gonna have to scroll way back.
But I don't want to. That's the thing.
Yeah, but there's some good shit in there.
There's some good shit, right?
Well, why don't you pick out the good shit though? Because you can
I mean,
scroll back. as
anything I
well.
post in our like super secret fucking shit is
Yeah.
fire. And I don't even remember when we like. When did we last do the show?
I think you guys did it a couple months ago, and I missed the last one, so I haven't been here in hella long. I had Avenged.
I don't know, dude, because I'm looking at stuff from like over a month ago.
It was over a month ago. Here, I can tell you the last stream you guys did. It is
Shit.
It was the 7th of May. Yeah,
Was it?
May 7th was the last
Oh,
one.
and I don't think I was there for that one either.
No, you weren't.
I wasn't either.
And you didn't. So you didn't get into most of the shit that we had been posting before.
So literally, yeah. So it would have been April. The end of April would have been the last.
Maybe like April
30th.
Yeah. Like
Yep.
some of the April 25th.
Have you guys seen this new trend? Hold on. This is a good one to start.
I'll be the judge of that.
Okay. This is some shit out of my playbook. So like, I've been going like back to back with the homies for years, right? Eddie Adul and I would go all night. Currently, Epic and we go all night back to back. And there's like little things you can do to like troll the homie when you're going to the changeover. And so like, there's a bunch of little things you can do. Like one thing I like to do is take the needle out and put it back in upside down. It's like something stupid like that. So they go to grab the needle, like, wait, what the fuck, right? Or I will pull the RCAs out for the turntable. That's pretty fucked up.
You have to be with people that know what the fuck they're doing, though, to not fuck up the night doing this. Like, you gotta trust that
it's just poking the bear. Like Eddie and I did it.
I could
Epic
do that,
and
but
I
I'm
do
always
it.
afraid that changeover, when there's nothing wrong, is gonna go fuck.
You gotta remember though, like we doing this thing every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and so it's like it's a nonstop. Yeah,
that's hella funny.
Right. So this is something that I would totally do. Let me make sure that this is working here. Okay, this is a good way to test. We're gonna go to this screen, and then we'll share this with the class, including y'all.
I like going back to back with people and then playing some weird shit that like is my last song, and then they have to mix
fucking them up. Yeah,
yeah, or something with a weird pause in it that like comes back, but there's a pause, and you go, "What'd you do? What'd you do?" I did
it to Corinne on purpose when we were back to backing at the barbecue.
Yeah, it didn't faze me though.
Okay, and
no,
then
of course not, because you're a fucking pro.
One.
But yeah, that's always
and we like to play weird shit, so it's like it's all good.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, you think, huh? Well, let's see here.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I've heard it and I synced it.
You see what they did?
Yes.
You seen this before?
Run it back, yeah.
Run it back.
Yeah, run it back.
All right. So this is a changeover between DJs, right? This is for USB cats. And this is so evil. When the dude goes to take out his USB, the DJ, he mutes the sound for a second, making him think that he pulled the USB out on the live track, right?
Oh, funny. Yeah. That's his heart for a second. I was like,
dude, my heart stopped for him for a second. You know what I mean?
That's
Can you imagine?
Funny.
Yeah. You can't hear shit. You can't hear shit.
Came over.
Okay, hang on, dude. Thank you for that. This is what we're working out. All right. Let's see. Why can't you hear shit? Okay. Let's see. This would be. Go ahead.
You want to put me? You want to like put me back up while you're doing it, or
yes.
Figure it out or whatever.
Got you. What happened?
I could talk.
Yeah. Stop sharing. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, I'm right here. I could act it out. Why you think
the Timu version of the it's a reenactment.
The guy's DJing and they're going back to back, and then the guy goes and says, "Hey, can I pull my USB out?" And so he's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And the guy pulls his USB out, and the guy goes like this and goes like cuts the fader right as he pulls it, just to be like, "Oh," like an instant heart attack, like, "Oh shit!" Like I fucked up the night. But
luckily, the CDJs now won't let you do that.
He's trolling.
It'll do that loop thing.
All right, let's figure out the audio issue because we gotta get that fixed. All right, so let's see. Why is it doing that? Because this was working. I tested all of this.
I know you did. I know. I believe it.
All right, so I'm gonna let this play for a second, and then we'll figure out why this isn't showing in here.
Let the music play.
Let the music play.
Thank you. Oh, that's like the worst when like you're DJing like a pack thing and like something happens and like the power goes out or like Serato crash or something like that where it's just like
If there's a lot of space, it sucks. But if there's not, it can be epic. You can recover well. Yeah,
well,
but that
if you
nice.
get recover, and then there's a time when like my fucking somebody yanked my power cord on my laptop, and I didn't notice it until it was too late. And like it went down, and then you got people in the fucking bar going, "No music."
Yeah, everybody.
I'm like, fuck out of here.
You should be able to hear it now, guys.
You can hear it.
Yep. Sorted. Okay. Any case, that's a good sound check. Let's see. There's so many. All right, I'm going Fader. Fader, how far do I need to scroll up? Give me.
Oh shit. I go. When did you do that one?
Let's see. Okay, here we go. We haven't done this one yet. I know for a fact we haven't done this one yet.
Give me a date.
All right, let's see if he still got audio when I do this.
Stripper arms are not like regular women's arms. They do not know how to touch you delicately. Delicately. That don't sound right. Delicately.
Okay. Why am I not sharing? Hold on.
Delicately.
So I can hear it on the stream, but we're not.
Delicately. They don't know how to touch you delicately.
That's where we gotta start. Like where you're at now.
Delicately. That's the word I'm looking for.
Delicately.
What I was talking about? One thing about them strip clubs, you gotta remember.
Hey, can we do this old school? Can you guys just watch the stream? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
I've got a volume knob.
That'd be super helpful. All right. That'd be super helpful. All right. And then let's see. I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, start from there.
Yep.
You're in the right spot.
You sent that to me twice, and then there's a third one.
Yeah, there's 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's this one.
Stripper arms
Where's it at? It's
are not like regular women's arms. But
one of the best Super Mario games ever, dude.
Yep.
Man's just getting after it.
That was funny.
Bump, 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 bump.
He's calling out the chord progressions.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
He's tutting. Spirit animal. Love it.
thank you.
But
I don't know who needs to hear this, but
I needed to hear it.
I love that. I don't know who needs to hear this, but
What you got here? I'm just gonna keep cruising through your stuff. Let's see.
yeah. Yeah. Just get it.
Whoa, that's sick.
Oh yeah.
That's a cool illusion.
Oh, I'm obsessed with these. I'm obsessed with these.
Yeah,
it's super
my
cool.
I got a mom slip mat that does something similar to that. It's like a kaleidoscope effect where it makes things look like they're spinning the other way when they're, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's crazy. The chess pieces, that's super wild.
Falls off the edge.
Yeah.
Like, that part of it's like tight.
That's sick.
So cool.
Even if it is some mid-ass house. All right, next one.
Cookie cutter house.
I'm such a dick.
shit.
All right.
Yeah, I love it. It's so good.
We've been playing Bump It or Dump It. Oh my god, I've seen this one. We've been playing Bump It or Dump It more on Saturdays instead of doing like the quiz games. And it's been a lot of fun, actually. Hit this one, dude. Who saw this one? Who's seen this one?
Oh, yeah.
almoço, gente, ó, nada melhor do que repousar aqui na rede junto com a Cauã. Agora eu tô só relaxando aqui um pouco.
Wow.
Mozinho vai deitar depois do almoço, gente, ó, nada melhor do que repousar aqui na rede junto com a Cauã.
Look at his face.
Mozinho vai deitar depois do almoço, gente, ó, nada melhor do que repousar aqui na rede junto com a Cauã. Agora eu tô só relaxando aqui um pouco.
Gives a new expression to the term baby arm, but damn.
So stupid, dude. All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay. This is I posted this a while back. Actually, that makes sense. We haven't posted. I've seen this yet.
Yeah,
this
is about.
Yeah, this is the for all the mobile DJs out there. This shit is pretty fucking amazing, actually. Check this out, y'all. How fucking great is that, dude?
Wow. I need it for everything. I'll never lift again.
Right?
That's pretty tight.
It's pretty sick. Backsaver 3000, straight up. For them subwoofers, them double 18 sub cabinets, all fucking day, dude. Like, that would be great. I got this method where I gotta like tip it to one side and then lean it into the fucking car and then push it up in.
Tetris shit. There's a diagonal way you gotta get it in so you don't break your fucking car. Yeah.
Adult level Tetris.
Right?
Fun shit.
Adult level Tetris, straight the fuck up. That's pretty sick though. All right, let's see. We ready to watch this video yet? No, we got more. We got more. More nonsense. What do we got here? Oh yeah, this is great. Wow, we are going back. It feels like these are so old, but they're not that old to be real. Fader sent me this. I saw this too. It came in my algorithms.
Technologia.
Tecnologia! 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 Tecnologia!
Amazing.
Tecnologia! 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 Tecnologia!
Outstanding. All right, more. Let's see. Oh yeah, we covered this, but we didn't actually watch or cover the event after it happened. The big sperm race. I guess there was a short on it.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh, yep.
2, 1!
Oh shit! They're going! Who's winning?
Once they enter the chamber, we are
Are you guys
live!
ready?
Who's winning?
This is enormous!
Shit.
Jimmy is off to the races! This might not even be close!
Oh my
All
god!
of those years of YouTube!
Who is that?
The feminist! The 800 credit score! Jimmy is long gone! No, his swimmers aren't even on the screen! This is a microscopic masterclass!
This comment next to it, as a reproductive medicine doctor and F1 fan, this truly made me so happy.
Dang! Unbelievable!
Formula One.
You think they have fluffers? I only hope so.
That's how I know the fall of like.
And people losing their fucking mind. That's like the best part.
It was so good.
Oh no, god, that's gross.
No.
Fucking dunk tank. Which...
No.
Blue tank?
No.
All right, more.
Some of it might have been collected that way.
More internet.
All the internets.
This is like the fucking flash course of internet consumption. All right.
If you think you've seen it all, then you better pay close attention now. Because this man has a talent unlike anything else in the world.
Sick. Get it. Selling it. That's insane.
That's hard to do on rhythm with the delay from throwing it and shit. Yeah, that's really cool.
Wow.
Needs more amen, son.
I was thinking the same thing, Froggy.
Doubles, Polly. Wow. Wait, he's doubling. He's doubling off the hi-hat, the ride cymbal.
Wow.
That was sick.
Cool circus shit.
Tight.
That's pretty dope.
That's pretty dope. Respect it. I respect it. All right, let's see here. One more from Fader. Maybe more from Fader because they've been gold so far. Oh, what's this? Uh-oh. Oh no.
It's like I don't know. I don't remember. Are we gonna get canceled?
Jason had to do that. Did he do that? Did he show you?
No.
Nope.
That little turd. That's supposed to be the penis, I guess. Not that I've seen any. Jason had to do that. Did he do that? Did he show you?
Can we see what that
little
image
turd.
might be
What's it?
on that light switch? Perhaps
Get it a little. I can't zoom in like that. No.
a little bit.
It won't go very far. No.
Oh yeah, you sure?
Jason, you didn't do it? No? Okay.
What a little turd you are, Jason.
What a little turd. Let's see
He's
here.
like, not that I've seen it here.
Okay. What's this one?
Amazing.
Nope, not that. Let's see. What's this one? Let's see what this is all about. I forgot what this is, but I sent it to you.
And what we do? Hey, put the beef patty in the focaccia bread. Beef patty pan the focaccia bread. Then you put your finger pan the focaccia bread and piece of plantain pan the focaccia bread. And what that? Drizzle honey pan the focaccia bread. That look like fucker pan the focaccia bread. And what we do? Hey, put the beef patty in the focaccia bread.
So, if he discovered Irish step dancing through the internet, and he calls it skedaddling.
Skedaddling?
It's fucking hilarious. When he's like, "Oh, what we got here? It's got a professional skedaddling," and it's fucking hilarious. And then he went and met people that were doing it and were teaching him how to skedaddle, and he was fucking loving it.
That's fucking great.
That dude's what's up.
Oh, here we go. This was interesting. This happened. If Nikki's watching, she'll love reliving this memory. This is a phone call that came into the shop.
Please.
You guys ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Here we go.
Tech Exchange.
Yeah, do you guys buy Apple Watches at the Apple Watch Series 9?
No, we don't. Sorry.
Okay. Can you suck my dick instead, and I'll eat your pussy out while you...
Click. Yeah. Did you guys catch that?
Wow.
Wait, what was the last part?
Oh boy. All right, you ready? Let's try it again.
I heard the suck my dick part, but
here you go. One more time. One more. Yeah, Nikki, remember you're oh boy.
Let me turn it up.
Turn it up.
Tech Exchange.
Yeah, do you guys buy Apple Watches at the Apple Watch Series 9?
No, we don't. Sorry.
Okay. Can you suck my dick instead, and I'll eat your pussy out while you...
Oh my god.
She hung up.
She hung up. She didn't even let him finish.
What is this, the fucking Jerky Boys?
You didn't even get to finish? Come on. What? Fucking blue balls is that, right? Who got? You didn't even let him finish.
Oh,
all right, let's see what else we got here. There was some good ones.
I just posted one in the Twitch chat real quick.
Okay, let me see. Let me see that one.
That one is a bad man.
Okay. We'll get to the main topic in just a sec, y'all.
Wait, there's a main topic?
Yes, there is. This is it. This is the main topic right here.
Zoom in a little bit. Ads or whatever at the bottom.
Do you do weddings?
Quadruple delay, he called
it. Sounds like the Smiths at the beginning. Oh my god.
Perfect.
I thought you were playing How Soon Is Now.
Yeah, I have a band. Amazing. Amazing. Let's see.
That top shelf shit.
That's some top shelf shit, yeah. Let's see. I be sending you some stupid shit sometimes. What is this one? Let's see. This is some... I forgot what this was. RIP to the biz. Amazing. That's wild. So you get it. So the turntables, they accidentally shut off and they fucking played it off like they were doing slow-mo. It's pretty fucking good, dude. Bismarcky was the truth, man. Oh, dude. RIP to a legend. All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh, I wonder what this is all about. Let's see. You got one?
That one.
Okay. Where's the
Paul? Nice watching.
Let's reset this. Here we go. This is the one I'm saying. I'm saying, yeah.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, Chris. Okay, fuck me, right? Hey, how's it going? Hey, Chris. Okay, fuck me, right?
That shit is great, dude. Sorry. It's fucking amazing. All right. Oh yeah, this is great. It's funny because it's true. Right.
A few moments later.
Stupid.
Go down.
Was it like Futurama? The scene? Can you fuck it? Was that what they said?
Amazing.
So stupid. All right, let's see here. What else we got? So many. Oh, this one. This one was impressive, actually. Check this shit out.
They not like us. They not like us.
We'll have to get that right. Copyrights. It doesn't matter, but look at that shit, dude.
Still working.
Still working. What do you think happened? That's some shit like
a fire broke out?
Yeah, your phone blew up. What the fuck is going on there? But you can see like the PCB is all good, so like it just big
The
fire.
side
Yeah,
of it is melted. It was fire.
that's fucking wild. I'm wondering if it happened when it wasn't in use.
And that's why it's okay.
Right. Ain't no thing, says the CJ. Yeah, right.
It's clearly on one side of it though.
It's like somebody had like a fucking candle or something
And
on the
just
side.
went off on it, yeah.
On fire.
That's crazy. Oh, Pioneer.
More fire.
That's for Paul. Why does he do the thing?
I thought like this.
The gabagool filter.
It's a good assist.
At the end, it's like
technology.
Yep, that's the best way.
It's so good. So good. Amazing. 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 All right. Let's see what else we got. What's this one? Oh shit. Dude.
Yeah.
AI is just incredible. I'm embracing the robot overlords, and this
the A1s.
This is why we should have AI right here. This is exactly why we should have AI for things like this.
GGGG, unit. You stole my baby mama for free calls. It's time to take down Pug.
Alpha 50 Cent going crazy on Instagram. Recruit a group of celebrities who love the party.
It's freak off time.
Bad boy, baby.
Astroglide. Honey packs.
Rhino pills.
Magic mushrooms.
MDMA.
Baby oil. Let me see that man China.
You reached the climax.
I'm tired of the paparazzi. I'm standing on business.
And I'll for rent money.
See that man China.
Sexy, can I just pardon my manners?
I can't. That's so fucking good. Oh my god. Oh
Ray
my
J.
god. Oh my god, that's so fucking funny.
fucking amazing, dude.
I can't.
It's fucking incredible. All right, next one. Next one. That is why AI should exist, though, for sure.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it is.
People, the way I like my tea.
That kid is too cute.
I like people the way I like my tea.
Tea.
Can you leak the freak off one? Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Got your back. Got your back.
Are we gonna talk about my computer crash song that I made?
Let's hear it.
Okay, I got you a link. I'll put a link in the Twitch chat.
Cool.
Okay. So the backstory is that my computer crashes every fucking stream.
Let's talk about your streaming computer or your DJ computer.
My streaming computer.
Okay.
My DJ computer. Don't say it loud enough that it could hear you. It's hanging on. But
Okay.
the streaming computer. Yeah, and I'm working on a solution, but since it crashes every stream, it's very frustrating. And so what I've done is I've created a song to play when it crashes that I can start on my other computer in OBS, so that something can play while I'm rebooting that computer, because it's like, the computer has to restart and I have to boot up OBS. It's a fucking bitch, and it ruins my every stream,
Oh, man. How long does it last before it takes a shit?
It's different every stream. Every stream it's different. Sometimes it's in the beginning, sometimes it's at the end, sometimes it's in the middle. It doesn't matter what scene I'm on. We've looked at the logs. There's no rhyme or reason why it's doing it, except for that my computer's older than time. So anyway, yeah. So I've created a song. I even have emotes in the chat to refresh, because that's how fucking much it happened.
What does it do? Does it freeze or does it
It's
shut
the blue
down?
screen of death. It's a
It's
blue screen. the
BSOD.
little-
Okay, got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's a little sad face, blah,
Yep.
blah, blah. And then it has to restart the entire thing. And I got to run
Okay.
around and put in the password. And I got to boot up OBS. It takes like 5 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And by then, everybody's like Audi 5000,
Well, that's not okay.
And
All right.
yeah, I know. Well, we're working on a solution. But in the meantime, just so I'm not so
Well,
totally.
you're gonna need something, because so while it doesn't take an incredible computer to stream,
Yeah.
your stream production needs more than just a streaming computer.
Yeah.
You have a lot of media, you're chroma keying, so there's at least like some sort of dedicated GPU involved and enough RAM for all of that all of that media.
I may be getting a computer given to me.
Okay.
And when I do,
That's good news.
yes, it is very good news. It's an amazing. It hasn't happened yet, but it's yes, and it has good stuff. It has you would be happy with the technology it has. It'll be such a big step up. I think there's probably going to be 10 years between the technology I'm using now. And
Yeah, I remember what you had when I was over there.
yeah, it was a free computer. I mean, I can't.
No, it's all good. I'm not judging.
Yeah,
But yeah,
no, I'm just saying, like, I can't knock it, but yeah, it's definitely, I've outgrown it for sure.
Yeah, you're pushing it to the edge, like most
And I've
creators
taken stuff off of the stream, and it still doesn't seem to help it. It just doesn't want to live anymore. It
Okay.
doesn't want to. But here's the song I made to play in between. It just sucked
Let's
because
hear it. So this is the intermission, like.
yeah.
Okay.
This is here we go.
Okay, let's see. Let's see what it is.
I wonder if its drive, like the C drive, is crashing or whatever.
That's probably it's either that it's a major component failing if it's a kernel panic like that. Am I muted? No.
It's happened again. The fucking PC rebooted while we were streaming. This sometimes almost always happens now and then. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Oh crap, we will be back in no time. Watch this lovely content in the meantime. We are scrambling to boot it back up, losing our minds. Thank you for your patience, you really are too kind. Hey, we are experiencing technical difficulties. Ain't that a bitch? What a neat glitch. We have the awesomest Twitch. It's the Swankiest dollar store set up around. It was just getting too good, we had to cool down. Keep your horses on and hold your pants while we come back from apocalyptic collapse. Just when you thought it was safe to stream, the fucking computer decided to shatter your dreams. It's enough to make you wanna pull your hair out and scream. It's a dumpster fire that is my life, you know what I mean. Jungle Cruise is walking on a razor thin line. The motherboard that runs it from the dawn of time. The computer takes a shit like every time. It's like a really slow buffer mode, reboot, rewind. It's so great, straight out the gate. This is when my Windows decides to do an update. Restart, log in, open the program and wait while Corin fills up with fury and hate. Hey, welcome to the shit show. It's awesome that you're here, so you can witness the part where the stream disappears. And no doubt with our luck, this shit has happened on a raid, which makes it even better, the icing on the cake. Right now the gear is loading up this fucking OBS. It's filled us with anxiety and causes hella stress. We're barely holding on, we really are a mess. Thank you kindly for your patience, we'll be back in a sec. The computer decided to blow itself to bits.
This is amazing.
We're loading OBS and it's trying to load every time that it quits. My head is gonna explode. The PC is a relic, it's less than ideal. Instead of booting hards, we got a hamster in a wheel. We apologize for not having the dough for something real, but this computer was for free and you can't beat that deal. Yay, the stream crashed again. It's so awesome and amazing every time it happens. We are currently booting up and loading all the stuff, so hold on for a little bit longer and be tough.
Start button. Amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, and I just have other shit that plays after that, so I have time to like.
Amazing. Dude, that's so good. Way to make the most out of a terrible situation.
Yeah, dude. But my problem was it didn't start right away because it didn't know I said stop streaming. Even though that computer was rebooting, OBS was like stream key in use, and I'm like, no! So it didn't start right away. I'm like, this is my plan. So if people can hang out for like 30 seconds, then the thing will start. Anyway, it's a whole thing. I was like, what the fuck? It's my plan for now. The Band-Aid that I'm using to make the best of it. It's really frustrating, obviously.
When do you plan on getting that other computer in? And do you need me to like
it's a
take
person
look
that's
at it
going to send it to me in the mail, so.
Okay. I mean, you're surrounded by tech homies, but if you need somebody to take a look at it, like let me
Oh,
know.
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
I know. It's somebody that was watching the stream actually, so I don't actually know them. But
Well,
I
be
gave them
careful
my
with that.
address, and I did tell them if they're a murderer that I'm fat, so it's going to take them a lot to get rid of my body. So,
That's funny and not safe.
because I gave them my address, so you know. No, it's really nice that they're doing it. They're moving, so they need to get. Anyway, it's a whole thing. So hopefully we'll see. Yeah, he seems legit for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I haven't gotten it yet, so I'm not counting my whatever.
All right.
But
Make sure you're not
I'm
home alone.
excited about it.
If you want me to send him foot pics, thinking that it's you,
Go for it.
I'll
Yeah.
do it for you.
Whatever gets it here faster. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
right? That's what I'm saying. Got sexy big toes.
I'd send mine,
Yeah.
but they'd be less believable.
Because you're brown, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Not great.
I
You
do
look really
be wearing
tan
long socks
from
so,
down there.
You know, it's a little lighter, but it's definitely some brown ass feet. All right. All right, let's get into the main thing. This is what I wanted to watch. And Fader, feel free to tap out anytime.
It is going to happen because I have to take my daughter to New York tomorrow. She's got a fitting for a job.
Oh, cool. Hell yeah. That's awesome, dude. Let me pull this up. I
I'll
already
pop it.
closed the tab.
I'll stay in for like a little bit, but I am gonna.
Cool.
I'm gonna tap out.
Tight. All right, so this is from the homie Tik Tak. He interviewed a legendary figure both here and basically for U.S. drum and bass. I'm talking about UFO. UFO, yeah. I've been friends with this dude for 20 plus years. He's an awesome person and a very interesting person. And they get into a conversation about basically like the origins of drum and bass and the history of drum and bass in the San Francisco Bay Area. And I was talking to Tik Tak less than a week ago. He came into the shop. He's a huge supporter of the shop, and he came in and did show a lot of love. Thank you so much for that, homie. That helped out in a huge way. he was telling me about this and how he was going to be posting it pretty soon. And he was like really excited because they got into a really good conversation about early days of drum and bass back in the 1900s, in the late 1900s, and for the San Francisco Bay Area. And so I have not seen any of this, but I do have my own recollection of that history. We've been bringing out like the bass crew and the Funkatech crew in Sacramento. They've been our headliners since day one. Like when we were billing people as a headliner, we couldn't afford bringing acts in from another state, let alone another country. And so our headlining acts, it would be like a couple cats from Sacramento would play, and then a guy from San Francisco would play, or a girl. You know what I mean? Or anybody really. And then, so like point is that we had like San Francisco's headliners. It was Funkatech, bass crew. So we had like Star Eyes. We had Miss E. Obviously we had Abstract, Knoll, UFO, Juju, Flux and Rents. We've had Ian and Ivory. We had Havoc from the Compression crew. We threw parties with the Compression boys out here several times. I'll tell you all about that, especially the time that Nate Ian pretended that he was John B. He doesn't like to talk about that. It was actually pretty fucking great. But any case, so yeah, a lot of history with those boys, and I actually slept on the Funkatech couch a couple of times when I would go out there and play for them. So we were both sponsored by Circa Footwear, and like Chad Muska was really into drum and bass. And so there was times when there were these Circa Footwear events, and it would have myself, Slim and Tofu from out here, and a couple other cats from out here as well. And then there was the Funkatech boys, Abstract and UFO were usually the two main ones. And so there was a couple of times when I would DJ out in the Bay and I didn't want to go home, and I would sleep on their freaking couch. And this was like in the legendary Funkatech house on Haight Street. And
it's next to Underground SF.
Yep.
Yeah, because Shelter was Funkatech was Shelter.
Right.
The old name for it, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, you're thinking of the top. That was different. No, yeah. Funkatech was a house. This was the actual house.
I know, but they had a night too.
They did, yeah.
In the records.
The Futuro night.
The Futuro night, that's the one, yeah.
Yep.
They had records too, though, right?
Yep. There was, so back in the day, the first label out of Sacramento, San Francisco Bay Area was Green Label, and that was ran by somebody, her name is Susan, and she is still active in San Francisco. I still talk to her. She's like this
Susan.
We can't see you. She's about 10 to 15 years older than me, an Asian lady who like is a secret force behind early ground score and early like San Francisco drum and bass. And her with like Dee Marie and all those cats were like early pioneers in it all. I want to hear what UFO has to say. I don't want to tell the story without hearing what they have to say. But yeah, it was such an interesting time in like the late 90s for all of that. And I'm interested to hear his story because I used to listen to his mixtapes, like actual cassettes. I used to buy them at raves and listen to them as like a fan before I ever met him. And he was like one of the main people I wanted to book when we started doing our parties back in the day. They were PBS crew was our original crew, Pressure, B-Side, and Stompa. And then we would do a party called The Fifth Element. And he was the first person that we booked. Him and Star Eyes were the first two people. Okay, let's get to it. So church drum and bass. Let's make sure that the audio works. 1 second here. All right.
Yes. It's Church Drum Bass. Interview with a legend. UFO, I'm Tik Tak. Ed, tell us about yourself.
These guys are goofy.
Trying to have a cat.
They've been friends for like hella years, so it's funny that they're just like goofy, like trying to do this all formally.
What would you like to know?
I did one of these with Benny Page in this.
When did we first meet?
We met at El Parada on 16th and Potrero at the Jungle that Shaban and Ocean. It was Shaban and Ocean's first jungle night ever in San Francisco.
Yeah, that was like 1995. I remember. It was kind of like like
what a good year.
It was like spring, summer, I think. I had come back from Thailand, and I came back to visit San Francisco, and I ran into Ocean, and he was like, "Hey, you guys, these guys down over."
How did you run into Ocean?
It was, I think it was on Haight Street, like in the early '90s. I think I got.
Were you a bike messenger back then?
No, I wasn't a bike messenger. Ocean I met on Haight Street in like '93 when I first moved to San Francisco, and him and I used to go to this record store called Amoeba Records.
Yeah.
It was a small shop owned by these like Burning Man.
Oh no, that was behind the post office.
Yes, correct. And him and I used to go there and like just play records, and that's how we met.
That was
And through
the OG shop, by the way, you guys.
we became better friends, but before then we were like kind of like at odds with each other because he would play breaks and all this house stuff, and I would just be like hardcore junglist, hardcore.
You turned him on to jungle music?
I did.
Because when I went to El Parada, a friend of mine, Matt, was like, "Oh, so like I thought jungle music was like white boy music, but I got this friend named Ocean, who I'm a bike messenger with."
That's
and it was around that time where I was working for Pelican Delivery. He was working.
I remember him telling me these stories about being a bike messenger. That's like early Ed days, man. Seriously, like that's like you would see Ed riding his bike all over the city, and like
for Arrow, and he's like, I guess you were right. It is black music, right? But not like us, not like E40 Mac Dre black music, but black music from like somewhere in Europe.
Yeah.
And he's like, actually, the music that you like, that you're playing, that we're all bugging out thinking, it's like white boy shit. There's a dude named Ocean, and he's running a club over on 16th and Potrero with his girlfriend. You should go and check it out. Like that's your people's. And I remember going there and just hearing like suburban based, like pitched amens, rinsed out 808s and amen, everything. And
jungly ass jungle.
Like, I don't have the record. Like, what the hell? And then I was 18. So I couldn't get into the club. So I had to be like, you got to get me in. They're like, well, you need an ID. And I was like, well, I'm a DJ. And they're like, so what? And I'm like, well, I play this stuff too. And they're like, all right, go in there. And I remember like then like having a total spaz attack because I was like, I can't believe I'm hearing this shit in this cool room with these cool people and like, Ocean, and she's got, Siobhan's some crazy British woman, like outlandish, like super, like almost like she was like a soul like entity, she was almost like I don't know, just very like animated, and then Ocean was like super dark and serious and very like judgmental and very like judgy as shit. But I was like, this is good because I'd already grown up in the Bay Area and I was like, I'm used to these dudes, you know what I mean? Like I'm used to that attitude. But they don't understand how much like I'm excited.
We were some fucking knuckleheads
like,
in the 90s, bro. That's just what
I always
it is.
knew
dude.
like I'm younger than them. I'll probably like keep this thing going. So I'd go there every
Hang on a second.
week,
Hang on. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
right? Like and then finally I mustered up
Can you
a
guys
mixtape
Can you guys hear our mics okay in the chat? I feel like I'm yelling over it. If you guys can hear us okay, is our mic volume like way too loud or way too low?
We good?
Okay.
Check.
Yep. We good.
I remember being like, here's my tape.
Okay,
And
thank you.
Ocean's like, don't give me that tape unless this is the best that you can give me.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's all I know. Like, I'm never going to be fucking around and just throw me. Like, I spent $100 with someone else's money and a couple of records that you gave me. And I just was like, I put together it. I went all out. Like I literally invested in myself, betted on myself, because I was like, well, I need the new shit. So I'd go to like Tweakin', I'd go behind the post office, I'd go
Behind the
to,
post office is legendary.
Even around the Castro, there was like a record there, and then there was Streetlight recordings on
Streetlight,
Market by
yep.
it, like all these places in San Francisco had like these record stores, and I'd go there and just like pick at the best stuff or whatever I thought was like cool. And so a lot of it was like Orca, a lot of stuff was like Moving Shadow.
Orca is also Decoder, in case you guys didn't know that. And then Moving Shadow is legendary, obviously.
There was even that smoke shop on
Oh yeah, I remember.
Hunab Ku,
Nabku, brother.
right?
Hunab Ku.
And so like and BPM record stores.
BPM.
Remember Neon Leon?
Yes, I remember Neon.
Neon Leon. He hooked me up. He was the one that's like, oh, you like that shit? I was like, this is it. And like at first I bought like Goldie's Inner City Life and thinking as I was listening to it, 33, that shit sounds fucked up. 45, damn, that's hella fast. What the fuck is this? Right? Like not really knowing, and then like, yo, like what is this? It's like, oh, that's jungle. You like that shit? I was like, yeah, this is like way sicker than house or techno or
That's right. We sicker than house and techno.
No,
shit.
but because at
Throw
the
your
time
shit.
I was like
Throw your
really
shit.
heavily into like what was happening with breaks, right? And coming out of Daly City, which like that's all you use. You use breaks to scratch over with, and
Big up to all my Daily City Filipinos out there.
breaks music was starting to leak into like
Philippines.
I was never really into like popular music, but because being from Daly City in the Bay Area, you're like, I got Mac Dre, I got E40, we got Qbert, we got Scratch Hamsters. Like what else is there? House music? No. You know what I mean? Like why? You know what I mean? There's so much challenge in that, and so much fun, and there's so much like personality in that already. So when Jungle came out, it was like, oh my God, that's like everything compressed.
We were so heavy into turntablism back there that, and those of you that were there, you remember at the old 916 Junglist events, I did this like, and I didn't even think about it back then. We just kind of did it, but we did this sort of short form, long form, back and forth thing where there would be like a drum and bass DJ who would play for an hour, and then somebody would come on and do a 10-minute turntablist routine, and then there would be a drum and bass DJ that comes on for an hour. You know what I'm saying? So like we did this, like there was like a turntablist routine intermission sort of thing that happened between like DJs that would play like longer sets. And it was because like it was in the height of turntablism. Like everything was about scratching. You know what I mean? Like,
and I had
look at the art, by the way.
It's so cool. I know.
I remember that like thoroughly from when he came to town, and he markered up all of his records like that. And that's Noel from Funkatech. That's the homie right there. He's OG. He's like 10 years older than me, and coming from the house scene. And yeah, right. Yeah.
I had already lived in Costa Rica for like 2 years. So before that, I was living in Vallejo. Here's a little story about myself. I was living in Vallejo.
Look at that windbreaker, yo. Dude, he just killing it, dude.
And so I was super deep with like what was happening with Bay Area culture, not knowing that there was like, I didn't know anything about rock and roll. I didn't know anything about new wave. I didn't know anything about Black Box. I didn't know anything about like New Order or The Cure. And I went to Costa Rica, and I remember it was a tough time because basically my mom's like, you guys can't live here anymore. Like you guys got to go move with your dad. And I remember just being like, oh my God, dude, we got to go to a third world. What the fuck? Like, I'm just getting my fucking wiggle scratch going. Like, you know what I mean? I was like starting to be down with all like the, just scratch culture for me was breaking through.
Yeah.
But when I went down there, the only way that I could really DJ was like, look, you want to DJ here, dude? Like, you have to know everything.
Yeah.
And so I remember my dad being like, look, you should just go to the radio station and just tell them you're an American and bring your records and like do that crazy routine shit. So I remember just like knocking at the door, like, hey, and then it grabbing my passport like cops do, just slamming the passport on the glass. And
Amazing.
they're like, who the fuck? ¿Quién es este gringo? You know what I mean? And then I'd be like, yeah, I'm from San Francisco, my hat, my fucking overalls, my Timberland boots, and I got my records and my turntables. And they're like, God damn, he really did bring all the shit. He's like, yeah, bring him in, record him. We'll interview his ass. That's like one of those like modern hip hopper guys, you know? He's one of those Vanilla Ice guys, one of those CNC Music Factory dudes, right? And they recorded me, then they interviewed me, and like literally like that day, some nightclubs like, yeah, tell that gringo to come here Saturday night and bring his shit, and we'll like have him like do a little like routine. And then I went there and just did my It Takes Two, and then my whole like Qbert kind of like, I'm gonna try to imitate what Qbert was doing, you know what I mean? And from then on, it was like, all right, cool, dude. There was a sound system. There's like Costa Rica at that time.
I am fucking surprised that UFO and Qbert have not collaborated on something to this day. That is fucking wild to me, especially with him being from Daly City also, like
in the early 90s.
Yeah,
had sound systems.
and Tik Tak booked both of them not that long ago in the same show and everything.
Right?
Because they were all learning from the Jamaicans, and they were learning how to build their own sound systems. So they would do is like buy one Cervin Vega like woofer, and then they take it apart and then remeasure it, and then use Costa Rican wood. Right? Yeah, so like they knew like, oh, that wood, this is shit wood. Like we got real good wood, right? Like, and then all they would do is buy the amps and the speakers raw, and then they make their own boxes.
So really re-engineered it.
They re-engineered a lot of that stuff. And when I came there, I got introduced to like this whole team of DJs and like basically like sound engineers that did support sound systems for like concerts, like when Vanilla Ice or one of those dudes came there, like, yeah, we need like 10,000 watts of just frequencies from 100, just subsonic like pressure kind
loud
of thing.
amp.
And they're like, we want to bring you on our shows with you. So I traveled all over Costa Rica DJing, and then watching their DJs play to Costa Rican audiences. And Costa Rican audiences or in general Latin American audiences are special because they're listening to top 40 American, they're listening to top 40 European, and top 40 Latin. So with that being said, it's like reggae, soca, cumbia, merengue, but rancheras, right, which was like the Latin side, rock en español, which is like kind of Cure, but like all Spanish. And then there's like what's happening in Europe and what's happening in the US, and they're like, you want a DJ here, like you got to mix it all. So I think that in itself, and I was already starting to get hip to like Future Sounds of London.
Yeah.
Right, so that in itself was like already kind of jungly,
FSOL for sure.
But by the time I left Costa Rica to move back to the U.S., all of a sudden, like scratching was like, I think I get club music now, and I know that there's a lot more power being able to use your scratching, but also keep people dancing. So they even taught me, they're like, dude, you can't scratch the whole time. I'm like, why not? Because people don't want to hear that shit. Like, you got to know when to come in. The guitarist, the guitarist gets a solo and that's it. And then the music starts back on.
I love that comparison. I've used that.
That's a really good way to start.
Yeah, I've used that comparison too. It's like when a DJ scratches too much, I try to tell them it's like a person. You ever heard a band where there's a guitar player that wants to just rip a solo all the time,
Or like jazz music on
Yeah.
the jazz station, which fucking drives me nuts.
or someone wants to rip a solo all the time? And there's a time and a place for that, but in a dance environment, it definitely needs to be rhythmic forward with solo accents. You know what I mean? That's what works. Yeah.
So in a weird way, they're almost like they're training me how to understand rhythms, but also training me how to like come in and come out and actually be like part of the show, but take control of the show the whole time. Like, and they're the first ones that told me like, look, people are really stupid. Right? like the only ones that are going to get what you do is probably going to be one or two people in the club. But most people, they need training wheels. Most people
There's a
need
lot
like
there.
most people want to be able to say two when you go 1 + 1 = 2. And that's the whole way, like humanity will always work like that, because what's happening is we are all having a conversation of rhythm and numbers, but through expressing like dance movement. It was crazy like how advanced a lot of the early 90s like, Costa Rican culture DJs were.
We're checking out this
but they had no
podcast.
patience for like, you know, Bay Area scratching all fuck, you know, it takes it for like, you know, they're like, it was so funny because when I was done, they were all on their knees, like making fun of me, like guana, 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 guana. And I'm like, what? And they're like, we've never seen anyone scratch for so long. Like, you need a girlfriend. And then I remember them trying to get me, like, he needs a Costa Rican girlfriend. No gringos, no gringos. He needs a real Costa Rican girl that'll take care of his ass real quick. But at the same time, then they're
Hilarious.
like, okay, like fun and games, but like you really got to get your shit together, dude. You got to know when to come in and come out.
Yeah, so you would say that's like kind of like your formal education in like DJing.
Yeah.
Like how to be like a broader, more versatile.
Yeah,
DJ, right?
yeah, and I think they were just teaching me the art of 16 bars.
Yeah.
The art of like maybe within the
Ollie, I know him and we've had some like late night conversations.
Trust
like,
me.
32 bars, like how to come in on 4 bar, you know, and I during that time I started to also notice like Hubert was like almost becoming a more minimal scratcher, where like all of a sudden he started to do simpler movements, and that I started to be like, oh, okay, because at first he was just like just pattern after pattern after pattern, or not pattern after pattern, but like it would be like a one pattern, then the other pattern would be like a clone of it, but with like a different variety. Then he'd do that again and he'd go into another one. So, but I started to notice there was these like 2, 4, 8, and what they were saying, they're, you know, they're like, okay. And I really feel like that I was telling Craze, you know, I kind of left scratching because I was very impatient with what I really wanted to hear. And to me, scratching was always this like cartoon kind of hip hop thing. And when rave came in, it was like Geiger, like just alien, like xenomorphs coming to light out of like this industrial hell. And I was like, oh my God.
There's Ed.
It
There's
was
the Ed I
like
know.
some sort of like Death Star, like kind of music, you know. It was just I have my theory on like what it all is, but something about rave music to me, I mean, rave can be kind of also geeky and dorky, but I think once I heard like T99 or like, let's say even after that, like Future Sounds of London, like shit got deep. And I was like, okay, this is...
See, to me, like, so I've mentioned this before too. To me, like in the early 90s, I wasn't really into the rave yet because it sounded stupid. I'll be real. Like I was listening to gangster rap and Wu-Tang Clan and like Fugees and soul music and
It's
like
kind of
80s
bubblegum pop
rap.
art, like fucking.
I would hear like pitched up vocals and like Sesame Street things, and I'm just like, yeah, you know, I get it, it's silly, but it's just I'm over here, you know, I got slap in the trunk, my rear view mirror is vibrating, and I'm fucking listening
Right.
to some Be Legit. And
And then you did Molly and got it, and then I'm just kidding. That's how what
no,
happens.
really, what it was is it wasn't until it got to where the music that I was listening to started getting sampled. So
Right.
I started hearing Redman and Method Man with the amens and the 808s, and I was like,
Right.
okay, I can fuck with
It's
this.
your gateway in.
It had a
Plus,
street
you probably
vibe.
went to an event,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
and then felt because that's really what it is. Is when you go to a rave and you see what its purpose is, that music,
Yeah.
it becomes a different thing than just listening to it. So.
Right. Yep. Same.
That era of familiarity that kind of draws you in. That's like, oh, well, this is
Yeah, there's some gateway.
This
Yeah,
works.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I like this
Exactly.
song. It samples my shit. Like,
Right.
yeah. That was how I got into drum and bass, so I get it.
Same. Yeah. That's why I'm always, even though I sound like I don't like the familiar aspect, I always embrace familiarity. The thing about the music, though, what he's talking about is like the early rave shit and how it didn't get serious until FSOL and these other groups were coming in where they're actually putting like thought, aka more drugs influence into their shit. They got more psychedelic and more like trippy, and more, deep in a lot of ways. And I really appreciate that a lot. That's when it started getting more real for me and like validating it as like a form of music that I'm like, okay, I fucks with this,
First saw Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, like I would say that was one of the first like impressions I had as a child. And I remember watching the movie and thinking to myself, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to be that one of these days. And now I kind of feel like that's what I am, where like I actually became this thing that expressed the future using machines, using computers, and pushing this like human like
Fucking UFO, man.
Telling you
into like rhythm and I think that's why the whole UFO thing was kind of I was like spaceships, computers, robots, like lightsabers, like drama, like family, like a group too. Like I felt like Luke Skywalker had like his mob, like his crew, and I think
his mob,
Funkatech kind of came from the idea that Luke Skywalker had like a team of friends.
I love it.
And I think I came
hey,
from
it's
a broken
Mitty
family, so I was like trying to like
Alex and Noel
put together my family again.
Look at these chodes. Look at these chodes. Fuck yeah, dude. I love it. Even Sage back there. Hell yeah. Look at young Machete too. Holy shit, dude.
Oh wow. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Oh, that's all the way on the right. That's Rob.
That's
on the
Rob
right,
on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I wouldn't even know.
The friends that I met in San Francisco is really easy to.
Okay, I see. These are the folks. I'm in this party. I was here for this. Yeah, for sure.
I was at that party.
I was there.
Call fools out, and when you're young, and you have all this like fluid.
That's Flux on the decks. That's Rinse behind him. Fuck, who is that right there? Is that for real? No, I don't know who that is. I can't tell. And then that's definitely Ed on the right. Why can't I tell who that is right there? That's
Fluidity of ideas and expression.
That's Jamalski on the right.
Like you were very who you are, and everyone, and me too. I was like totally weird. Like we were all really accepted, like
we're a bunch of orphans back then.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, I'm coming out here and I'm gonna like do whatever. I'm gonna meet some like-minded individuals and then see what happens. I remember like first meeting you and Juju at the Il Prado. And, like instinctually, like I was really gravitating towards your energy, and I felt like we're both on the same level. And I was like, yeah, man, have you heard this? And like, no, why don't you take this record?
You were the most hyped dude. Like, because everyone else was playing it cool. Like, Noah was a little older, right? Because Noah was there.
Tik Tak with energy? What do you mean?
He's still that person. Yeah. He's the cheerleader.
It's like, see, okay, so he's making a point here too. Noel is like older. Noel is like coming from, I was saying a second ago, he's like 10 years older than me, but he was like he was a really fucking good DJ, and he was like seasoned in the scene already. from the house music scene, which was obviously it already had done exploded in San
So
Francisco.
he's bitter. So he was a crusty jungle.
He's a little jaded already, right? Yeah. But he was like, okay, I'll put it this way. He was playing like liquid tunes before they called it liquid. But when everybody was playing like in your face, hard aiming, jump up, fucking rocking shit, he was already like, nah, man, I'm into this musical sounding, like chilled out kind of,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like he was already there.
He was
you
a
know?
hipster in its time.
Like Noel was
Which
a
is
little
fine.
older.
That's part of the
I
culture.
love it. Noel's the man. Yeah.
Dude, like because everyone else was playing it cool. Like Noel was a little older, right? Because Noel was there, and he was just like, all right. I felt like Noel was always like on the cutting edge. Like I felt like he left like he was laid back, but he was also like famous as fuck. Like before that, he was like a really like I would see his name all the time on flyers.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
And all of
say.
a sudden, he's just like playing jungle music, and I was like, dude, you had it going on. He's like, yeah, this shit's way cooler though, you know. And that's when
Noel's
I
like
realized,
that.
like, okay, I think I found myself like a friend because he wasn't
Noel and Ed. Ed is UFO. You might know UFO. He has more releases out. Noel does not have a whole lot of releases, and in a lot of ways is a regional legend for the West Coast scene, specifically the Bay Area, San Francisco scene.
coming from scratch music.
But that's UFO on the right.
Like everyone was mad competitive. Like shit, like DJ 8
Talking
would
about
see
Noel.
me on the street, and he would just be like, "What's up, DJ Fruit? I mean DJ Mango," because my DJ name used to be Mango. I was so innocent. I thought like, oh, Mango, like the reggae label. Yeah. Right? And I remember looking at the label like, that's a sick name. Yeah, I'm juicy like a mango. Come back to Frisco and everyone's like, DJ Mango. You know, you played yourself. I'm like, whoa, what? Like I love dancehall. I love reggae. Like you got played. Now you got to battle DJ 8-Ball. And I'd go to like Chuck E. Cheese or playing video games and, oh, what's up, DJ Fruit? You know? And I was like, oh, fuck. It probably changed my name. But around that.
What was the name of the group that him and Nick from Evil Intent did for that twerk sound, that 100 BPM sound that was popular for like a summer? They had a moniker, and like some of their songs, like they broke through in that scene too. It wasn't the Moombahton scene. It was like that, you know what I'm talking about? Or it was like there was like a twerk scene.
Who was the other guy?
It was Nick from Evil Intent.
I don't know.
There was a group that they did together or something like that. Hold on,
That time, I was starting to get into art, and I was like, well, I get to reinvent myself again. And that was the beautiful thing about rave culture is you could just like literally rename yourself, or music. I think music, like once you become a music person, you can really just throw away like the identity that was given to you by your teachers, your parents, society. You know what I mean? Like you could just be like, I'm someone new. And I became the UFO.
I remember like moving back to Cleveland, but then we also like stayed in contact with each other. And back then it was just all through like fucking
Bro Safari.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's
telephone.
He was Nick from Evil Intent is the main
Yeah.
person behind Bro Safari, and
Yeah.
Ed definitely was a big part of it too.
I didn't know he did
that's
stuff with
dope.
Rose. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
I
talking
love Bro Safari stuff.
Yeah.
on the
Yeah, it was
phone and
definitely
stuff.
hot in
I
the
remember,
in that like
Yeah,
mid
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of that shit broke
2010s
through.
shit.
Yep.
Damn, son, where'd you find these?
Yep. All that shit.
That era.
inviting you to come out to Cleveland because we were having like this big massive called 420 in a warehouse, and I was like, come on through, man. I got like, I'm doing the jungle room, and like I want you to come through and play and like go down. And I think that was like your first time in the Midwest at
Some of that shit was fun, dude. The
massive,
intense.
like, warehouse.
Yeah, I stayed at your parents, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You stayed.
Was I trying to avoid? Was I running from somebody? That was another show.
Yeah, that was years later. That was like, I think that. Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta do something, you guys. I'm gonna go no avatar. The video's gonna drop for a second, you guys. Give me a second.
There was, and then someone else who had actually. lived there longer. Not Mike B, but Mike. I mean, Mike B was already, I think, out here when the whole 606 kind of Funkatech. Yeah. What a good time. You know, there's like a there's it was wild times, right? Because like a lot of things were kind of like unhinged. No one was really worried about shit. Everyone just wanted to like literally play and get along. But
Look at these
yeah,
guys.
I would say,
Oh my God, they're so
it
young.
really started with Bass Crew, right? Like the first crew in SF was like
Facts,
Flux, Rinse, Star Eyes.
Big up Star Eyes.
And I remember like then
Vivian was a regular here in Sacramento. She played all the time. Mikey loved her. Mike Hargis used to do these parties called Planet Rock out in Oakland. And she was always playing the Jungle Room there. And so she was already a star because she was playing in Massives. And so she was a frequent headliner in Sacramento, and she definitely sold tickets, and so we paid her well. But yeah, I brought Star Eyes through tons of times, probably more than anybody else.
Got into it, and Alex was in it as well. But I remember I wanted a friend of ours, Spell, who now like is, I think he works like with nanotechnology or something, but he was different. He was definitely, all of us were always trying to outdo each other with like big amen tunes, big 808s, like just not rinse out tunes, like no deep stuff. Like you maybe play one or two LTJ Bookham tracks because like you got booked at the house party, you're playing like the side room or whatever. But when it was like our parties or bass crew,
look at those people. Is that Cusin? Oh my God.
And I remember thinking, hey, you guys, we should get Spell in Bass Crew.
I was at so many of those shows. All those pictures. Oh my God.
Because he has like his
not
own
all of them.
thing,
Some of those are before me.
I liked him a lot. He was a very neat, very gentle, and he was very into like crust, moving shadow, like deeper, more like not like suburban bass, not like Formation.
I remember, I'll tell you a story. I was hanging out at my crib, and we had the Funkatech boys at our show, and so they were staying at our place overnight. And this is like early internet days, like late 90s, the late 1900s. And he's talking about how everyone was trying to play banger tunes, and you know me, I did not want to play the banger tunes. I was playing more of like the deeper shit. And I remember, I'll never forget, I was in my room and he came in and I was like listening to some fucking trippy shit. And he was like, what is this? And I forget what it was. And he saw this binder that was like on my dresser, and it was like a binder that was dedicated to Reinforced Records. And it had like Gus and Mark and Dago and like the history of For Hero and like all these like things that I'm so old saying this, but I printed them off of the internet so that I could like keep them. It was like during that time. Yep. You guys are ever, you know, there was a time when we did that.
Oh yeah, you keep like little file like folders of things that was like, this is a book, but in case I want to reference the information I found on the internet, you would put it on a dot matrix sheet.
And
or
he
whatever,
thought that was the coolest, nerdiest thing he's ever seen. He's like, this is amazing.
So you can have the information if you needed it, because it was so hard to get to it. It took like an hour to dial up and shit. So you printed that shit for sure. I totally did.
So stupid, all right?
But just like almost like. But everyone at Bass Crew was like, nah, dude, he doesn't bring heat. Like, the fuck we want to get him in there? He always plays like that weird shit. And I was like, dude, but we need, you know, like we need variety. Like drum and bass comes in all kinds of things. And I remember there was like a lot of pushback, like, nah, dude. And who the fuck are you to even like consider that? Maybe, I don't know. I just remember just pushback. And I was like, fuck it. It's me and you, we're gonna get Spell in here, and then later on we got Alex, and that's just because we befriended Alex. And from then on, then it was like, okay, so I got like the best dudes right now. I got
That's a good crew right there. Those guys are all really straight up. Alex, super nice guy too. I know I'm hella fucking jocking him or whatever right now, but it's true, man. These guys are really cool guys. Let me do something real quick, just kind of fix something here. I'm gonna go no video for a second.
I'm gonna head to bed, guys. Love y'all.
Easy, homie. Good night, brother. Big up to Fader. Mad love to the homie. He actually hung out with us. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Because this is like very niche.
Very, very niche. I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was doing. Yeah, this is
I'm
like,
here for it,
yeah,
but I get it.
this is Bay Area drum and bass history right here. Very specific. Yeah.
Alex, I got Noel, I got Spell. And then later on, later on.
Look at Mehdi. Oh my
Juju,
God.
Like Juju was in it, and then
Noel,
Sage
Neil,
is in it, you know.
Sage.
And around that time, I was like, I really need to figure out, like,
I got straight up molested by Sage and Empress in the basement of 1015 Folsom one time.
how this is done. And so I know there's Metalheads, I know there's Reinforced, and those are crews that are deep. I need to go to London and see how they function, right? See how they move. So I would just straight cold call like the labels.
Oh, I did that too.
Right?
I did that too.
You just
We all
call
did
the
that,
numbers.
yeah.
You just send faxes, bro. You just wrote down, I'm a DJ from the United States. I got this radio station. I got this club. I got this, you know, like
That's
you
how
just.
I got to talk to SS and Simon Baseline Smith back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You just call those
Just yeah, so I called. I remember calling Reinforced Records,
tight,
and setting up like a date, to go out there. I remember calling Sour.
Yeah,
tight. Sounds of the
I
Underground.
remember getting a hold of Chemistry and Storm.
Was anybody in the Sour group in IRC?
And Chemistry and Storm were like really tight with Laura. And we check up with them like once a month, like, yo, what's going on? Because they're like, call us anytime. We want to know, like, what's the scene going on like? And I remember that Chemistry had this one thing that she said when we would be all on the phone. She had just gotten back from like Japan or Germany, and she said, you know, yeah, things are really good. They're
What else,
healthy.
V-Point?
Like the scene's really healthy. And I remember like the concept of a healthy scene, I had never thought about it. But she made me realize that like scenes are like living kind of entities. And the way that people perceive the music and how much they want to be challenged is the healthy scene. A scene that like wants to hear something different, where DJs can come and play their own sound and people are receptive to it. And I was like, holy shit. Like she made me even think of this whole like ecological thing that we had in San Francisco, then outside of California, and you know what I mean? Where I was like, wow. And she kind of brought this almost gentle, scientific way of looking at who you are,
big
where
RIP.
you fit in, and how that like plant life almost. And so yeah, me, Laura, and Abstract, or me, Sage, and Abstract, first thing we went is to like Reinforced.
Nice. Hey, quick side note. Mike B, right?
Yeah.
I knew Mike B from the
Philly.
Ohio days, Pittsburgh. He's from
Pittsburgh, that's right.
yeah.
He's from Pittsburgh.
And the first time I met him, he came through with Diesel Boy, and he was emceeing for Diesel Boy.
Hell yeah,
at one of
Triple.
our-
I'm glad you're here for it, dude.
This is probably like in the early '90s, '93. It was because
Those who don't know, man, Tic Tac is triple dipple OG out here.
He's the first guy that booked Diesel Boy too.
Yeah, he
That's
is.
why he's got cred.
Yes, he is triple dipple OG. Yeah, give church the flowers, man. I'm telling you.
He may only look like he's 12 years old because
Yeah, exactly.
He's been around for all of it.
He is a Don. Kiss the ring for real. Like, yeah.
I was working with the Pittsburgh crew a lot. We go back and forth, like Pittsburgh drum and bass, Cleveland drum and bass. It was like one whole big, like kind of like little collab, of scenes and stuff. Some interesting times,
Mike B was great because Mike B like had his own thing, and also Mike B was like a really, it still is, but at the time when I was young, I felt like that's so cool that he's not doing like what is working, you know, like big tunes, big amens. Like he could do it, but he was like, no, like I'm on some classy shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm into the deeper side. Now I have more of appreciation for that than I did when I was a kid, because I was so into like, I gotta kill it. I gotta do crazy shit. And Mike B always had like he had a more refined like taste, and he still does, you know.
That's sort of a natural cycle for anybody's musical taste, is you're kind of looking for that excitement and you want to share that excitement because you're excited. And then after a while, the excitement becomes less exciting and you start looking for something a little bit more substantial. And then, you know, at that point, you know, it's up to the individual whether they go fully one direction or another. It's kind of a pendulum, and nobody's committed to be in one particular area or another. People have different moods for different times of the day or different parts of their life, right?
Right.
And sort of what makes music valid is that there's something for all of those times.
Baby DJs always want to pay peak time bangers. That's why it sucks when they're opening DJs, because none of them play opening DJ music at all.
Yes. So a young DJ who is trying to make an impression, the first thing that's going to come, you know, that's going to obvious to it, because it will work, is keeping the energy level at least, you know, 8 to 9 in the entire time. And somebody who is, you know, who's young is going to maybe play an early slot incorrectly because they're really excited about being there and they want to leave a good impression, yada, yada, et cetera, right?
Vinyl Dreams. Yeah. I love going there.
It's still around. Final Dream's still around.
Yeah. I'll go there just to hang out and talk, and just to kind of
intense.
Take me back to when I was a kid, and I used to go in there like, shit, man, I only got $60 to spend, bro. And if I spend this, I ain't gonna have no money to eat for the rest of the month. You know, I remember just spending all my money, and fuck it, go hungry. Maybe someone will have something in their fridge and I can just like raid it or whatever.
Hey man, that's part of sacrificing for the art, for the love, right? When you're that age.
For the cult of jungle, dude. Yeah.
I still do that. I still sacrifice.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's kind of like a little brief history. You know, how do you feel about things these days with like music production? You know, and the overall like kind of integral like sound of like the industry, or what is like drum and bass jungle these days.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. Everybody seems to be like reaching back to, you know, bring things forward.
Yeah, well, there is, you know, there's been a resurgence, like I think slowly starting from like, I started like, I was heavily, okay, so, you know, obviously after drum and bass, I really got into like the whole like EDM trap and kind of like experimental side of things with friend Bro Safari, Nick, who was from Evil Intent. And
there we go.
That was going on, and I did what I could. I was like, just like, I need to play these fucking sound systems, dude, and get on there. But it's really tough when you don't have management. And after a while, I was like, well, you know, I think I'd messed up my back.
I remember that.
Right? Yeah. And so then I had some time. I had like my Brian Eno moment where I would just like lay down, like, what do I really want to do? Like, I'm hurt here, but one of these days,
this was just recorded. This was just recorded less than a week ago,
and I'm gonna get back to good. What is it that like I obviously was, you know, I should have quit this job like, you know, 4 months ago after I played Coachella. And I didn't, because I was like, no, I got to keep this job. I need stability in my life. You know, being an artist, you just go up and down with your lifestyle. You know, for 3 years, you're like, I always have cash. I always got money. I could always do what I want. And because
Tik Tak posted this 3 days ago.
Music and being an artist, you have these moments where like things don't pop. But it was a good time, and I took it like more as like a mental meditation on what to do. And then I think I put out an album, like just random, like 1 minute, 2 minute tracks. And a friend of mine was like, yo, dude, you want to get your shit on like movies and TV? I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude, if you can make me 100 of these and put it in a folder, like, so I did something with MTV and like put a bunch of music out on for a bunch of real life TV shows. And I had stack. And the first thing I thought was like, I need to invest in myself. But what do I do? How do I burn this money so it forces me to make $1 out of 15 cents kind of thing? And at the time, a friend of mine was like, hey, do you want to go jump in an insulation tank for an hour? I got like free passes. I was like, yeah, I need to figure out what to do. So I stayed in that isolation tank. And then this, like,
what the fuck, dude?
For like a second. No, for like.
Hold on. Struggle Citizen, thanks for the follow an hour ago. I'm a terrible streamer.
Just when you think that he's like
probably for like
normal,
5 minutes.
like.
And it was so
Kathy,
dark.
me too.
And I was floating and I felt nothing. And I went, shit, did I just die? Fuck. Because it was nothingness. My senses were turned off. I didn't feel anything. And after a while, it was just like dark. But I was having a hard time to just
sunglasses killing it. I know.
Darkness. And then I remember hearing my voice or hearing a voice. It's okay. Move your foot out. And then touch the matter that you're in. And I touched like the side of the pool. Like I had to kind of like, oh, okay, I am alive. And then it was like, cool, now that I have your attention, this is what you're going to do. You're going to buy back all the records that you lost in that fire, right? You're going to buy all those records back. And as those records come in the mail, you're going to be pulling the best favorite sounds and the breaks off of them, and you're gonna do something totally new with jungle music. You're gonna go back to your roots. You're gonna go back to
look at these people. So there's wow, look at them. That's wild, dude. The old Funkotech parties. Look at Medi front and center. Medi's a G.
And you wanted to make music, but you couldn't. Because you didn't have like the gear or you didn't have the know-how. Because for a lot of years I was just DJing and not making music. And I was like, okay. It's like, and then it was like, and then one day I found that that Discogs existed and I was like, here we go. And I would just go through Discogs and just buying back all the jungle records that like had lost in this fire. And I'd come in, resample it, and just start making these like little 8-bar and 4-bar loops. And then in one night, like I created this album. It's called Hypernorm. What a great theme to like bringing in this new sound that I have this idea of what jungle is right now. And at the time it was 2017. And then I started to notice, wow, there's a lot of new jungle and there's a lot of younger artists making jungle music. And so I was like, yeah, let's like kind of.
We had a kid that was in high school on Inside the Ride this past Saturday. Can confirm from Ollie, Froggy, in case you were wondering. Yes, that kid was in high school, and he was having a blast, by the way. Him and his buddy were in there having a blast.
Sick.
Yeah. And he had to message me from his dad's Facebook account.
Give jungle a new face.
Because he doesn't have Facebook. His dad did. Oh, God.
More Ableton techniques. And Ableton, like time stretch, Ableton has like all these different time stretch algorithms, beats, tunes, Complex Pro, Complex, and all those. When you stretch those, they give you like different like algorithmic, kind of delays and the whole thing, which is like the time stretch thing. And I just from then on,
He's
it's
too
just
cool
been
for
like
Facebook.
so much fun, and I'm enjoying making music again.
But money's
and,
on Discord,
like,
though.
It was really nice because I had stepped away from drum and bass for a while, and I started making it. And of course, with the records, that inspired me to then throw all vinyl shows.
He was great, though, right, Kev? He was great. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
I love that shit. That's the best.
Dude, he was having so much fun.
chilling.
It was so
That's
awesome.
what I love to see is kids
Yeah.
getting into drum and bass music.
Dude,
That's
it was
the best.
sick. It was sick. They were having a blast and they were being stupid on camera, and it was
Fuck
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's entertainment.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
so much
yeah.
better than watching some bored fucking person spin.
Being all cool. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, being all
With
cool.
Audio
exactly.
Angel doing nights where like the phone doesn't.
And yeah, the
exist.
music was really good too. Like it was a good stuff. Let me back up.
That's awesome.
Back up. He's talking
Oh,
about
it's
Funky Tech.
fucking Raul in the background of that one.
Yep.
Music again, and like it was really nice because I had stepped away from drum and bass for a while, and I started making it. And of course, with the records, that inspired me to then throw all vinyl shows with Audio Angel doing nights where like
Hell
the
yeah.
phone doesn't exist. I'll put
Hey,
the
there's
phone away,
Raul, too.
dude. Come to the club, meet a friend.
Dude, who do we know? There's Osby. I see Osby in the crowd.
Oh yeah, Osby. Let's see.
Tight. I love
I think
it.
that must be Paul in the front.
Could be, yeah.
Or if you are too scared to talk to people, dance. You got two things that you can do: either make friends or dance.
Rashida is so amazing too. Have you ever performed with
of
her?
course. Oh
Okay.
yeah, many times. She's an inspiration of mine.
She's
completely.
incredible, right?
She's amazing. I
I
love
bet you
her.
two together just fucking destroy it.
So
oh my
we did
god.
that.
We orbit around each other and just kind of like, she's amazing. I bow
Years
in
and
presence of her.
COVID hit, and then we're still trying to figure out a venue to do all that. But
I danced.
yeah. And so it's been really like, I feel like my life has been slowly coming back together in this way that I feel like I'm glad that I have always stayed with music, but I'm glad that I kind of went back to the original sound.
Oh
that,
my
like,
god. How many
gave
early 2000s drum and bass photo shoot? This is checking all of the boxes.
Okay, so
How many?
the colors, the hair.
how many can you pull out that where there was like the high collar thing covering up the face photo shoot? There was so many artists that did that. I just want to say
funny.
it.
gave me my identity as a human being, like on Earth.
It's
You know,
tight.
as like a music maker, and I'm not like, I don't regret doing any of the music before, but it's nice to be able to come home and everyone's like, "Welcome home, Ed. This is where you belong." Like and it's nice to still be
I think
able
I've been to like 3 of his going away parties.
to have a voice and still be able to do something and actually still make a change. I feel like I've been able to do that with all the styles, but it's nice to kind of like, just jungle music will always be such an amazing part of my life. Because when I was young,
Bro, the fucking dub plates, dude. Just those are 10-inch acetate
Wow.
fucking dub plate culture. Pre-laptop with the old Vestax mixer. Killing it. Yeah. Tight. Smells like old books.
like jungle music was the only thing that I can be like, I know life is not good right now, and I'll probably never be like a regular human being that has a good job or a house. But there's this thing called jungle music, and when I play it and when I share with my friends, like I become someone that society goes, "Oh, good for you. You did good,"
I mean, I like to say, like, if you never get lost, you would never find yourself here.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I've always also been a person that like
The Aviators
has been
on
inspired by
Tik
all
Tak
different
are just
sounds.
gold.
Like when
Gold.
IDM came through and like and the whole laptop thing started to pop off. I was one of the first
Solid
DJs
Freddy
to
Krueger
actually,
sweater
like,
right there.
bring a laptop because
Yeah.
bro, I can just not even play a dub plate anymore. I can just play it straight off the laptop. Like, what are you checking your email? Nah, dude, I'm like running Max MSP and playing like fucking white noise and pink noise over the sound system and blowing, like just doing weird, cool new shit. And then, with that, it's just been like you name it. I was like, oh, Mombaton, yeah, trap. Oh, you mean Easy E, Boys in the Hood? Like what? Like nothing to me. Like IDM was the one thing that I was like, I have to figure this out. This is the crazy. Like, I was always into like T Power, right? Yeah. So T Power he was almost cutting edge, like almost IDM. And so when
T Power was
Aphex
different.
Twin
And
started
Aphex
to
Twin,
kind of become more popular, and just in general, warp recordings, to me that just broke. Like, okay, I thought drum and bass was dope. There's this other stuff, and then
Ninja Tune,
the mid 2000s kicked in, and then like I found it more interesting to play a bit. I'm like, whoa, I could be in a room with like 2 or 3 other people, and I can make one song. Whoa, I had no like I grew up Daly City, turntables, Latin, parents. And so the whole rock and roll thing was like, this is America. This is it. So I got into that. And then I stopped making music for a while.
Intense. Tractor was on the right path with that stuff for a while there with the remix decks, I'd say. But yeah, you're right. There could be more creative areas, especially with, we're at least at 16 gigs of RAM at this point. If we're not using it for stems, we could use it for something else.
To go work at the MoMA in Queens, I was just like, I just worked in the museum. And even then I started to realize, like, you just want to be an artist, bro. You just gotta pretend you went to art school. Like anything in this world,
I think we kind of had the same dream. I mean, like,
there was like a goth or a mod approach in the early. Yeah, you're right, Sapienus. I remember that.
Kid until I came out to San Francisco. I came out here on
Fun fact: in high school, I walked my graduation walk with
city life right here,
goth
but then there's the
girl.
woods right over there.
Yeah, nice.
Going escaping into the woods and doing mushrooms like fucking changed me.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was born and raised here, and I've been all over the world, and like in some weird way, like I ended up back here. Like I moved back here in 2014 when, bro, that was like the peak of rent out here, and it's still.
Yeah, I remember running into you.
Yeah.
And it was like
what?
we just,
That's when I met him.
What's up?
Yeah. Hey, good to see you again.
Yeah. I love this town, dude. I
peak
love
of
San
rent.
Francisco. Yeah, I hope I'll never leave. I hope I can stay here.
I try to leave all the time, but I
Come
can drag right back in. Like
Come back and have a burrito.
Yeah. Come back and have a burrito. So I see you're on tour with Ribs and Ali Junglist.
Intense Complex. I think the term that they call it is remix decks, and it's like a live sampler, like a live loop recall, almost like the way the Ableton Live works in a lot of ways, as far as like being able to play samples out in a rhythmic fashion.
How's that been going for you?
I love it, dude. They're like, it's so cool. They're so talented.
Samples
They're
and
so
loops.
good. And I was playing in Santa Rosa, and I was like, hell yeah. Like finally this thing that you remember how hard it was for people to understand what jungle was, and everyone's like, how do you dance to this? And I'm like, what's wrong with and then I had to remember my friend in Costa Rica, like, everyone's a stupid ass, dude. Like there's not everyone's gonna get it. And so to be able to see a younger generation that's like, yeah, jungle footwork, fuck yeah. And you know what I mean? You go to Oakland, like if you're not playing crazy shit, like they're just not into it,
Yep.
It's just
Yeah. Big up my Oakland folks.
Yeah.
They likes that crazy shit.
It's a vibe, dude. I can go.
You can get juke, you can get jungle-y, like super broken, aiming, fucked off breakcore. They'll fucking swallow that shit up. Yum, nom, 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 nom.
out there and just whip whatever. Like the crazier the drums get, the more they're like, ah. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like it's cool, and
Big up
I
my
love
Oakland
those
folks.
two. They're like just good kids, and they're way more pro. They're like everyone has got their shit together. Like when I start to see like how they handle the club and the business, I'm just like, damn, dude. So it's good. I'm just
Big
glad
up,
that
Ollie.
like that
Yep.
we still have
Am
a
I
scene.
distorting? I feel like I'm
Thanks to you
distorting.
too. You're putting on shows and
Hey
like
guys, does my mic sound hot? Do I sound like I'm distorting when I yell?
between all of us kind of doing this thing, like we can give people
Thank you.
Done a lot.
a natural escape, a natural high to want to feel like they're a part of something.
I mean, I've done a lot with my life, and like the only thing I know how to do is just this.
Yeah.
You know? And like I can't give it up. And, I mean, I've come this far, and like I tried to quit, and it's
Yeah, me too.
and you can't. I mean,
Yeah,
not when it's like
No,
ingrained
you can't
in your
quit
DNA,
this shit.
and that's how your
No other
spirit
life skills,
vibration, like
Even if I never have like a gig again, or if I'm like it's beyond like my means to be able to like reach a live audience, I'll still probably be doing something on this platform or something similar to it, whatever exists in that time frame. Yeah, I'll never stop. And even if it's just for me to do it for myself and I have absolutely no contact with anybody else, I would still be fucking doing
When you
it.
wake up in the morning thinking about it and you go to sleep at night thinking about it, that's the thing, man.
That's the thing.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, we were getting high dosage of endorphins as kids, and I think that.
Let me go Avitari for a second. Give me a second, guys. Show avatar. Thank you. I wish I could make that a stream deck button. That'd be amazing.
that lives within us, and all you got to do is just like hear. It's crazy how like you just hear like an amen break.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, it's what I mean. Like, is that what the beat? Is that like what the Pink Floyd or
Dude,
like
who
the
hears it in
Beatles,
who hears it in like a commercial or and it's like in the back? You're like, yep, there's a fucking
or a show or something,
like
and they just
like
gotta
the
go,
opening intro for a show or something. Yeah,
hear like a rock and roll guitar or something. Would they like turn on the same way? The backbeat or just, I don't know. I always think of that because like now we're in like this like second wave of music, it's crazy to think that like what was happening in the 90s. Imagine what was happening like in the 60s and like, or even in the 70s and before that with like OG 50s rock, like Elvis, we're kind of like in the same position that they were back then. Like the length of how long this has happened. Like,
don't say that shit.
There's
That's
DJs now that are old. Like, look at me. I have like
we did a census, or we looked at a census, I should say more correctly, from Digital DJ Tips, and the census definitely confirmed, at least with their audience, that DJing is not necessarily a young person's game anymore. In fact, more DJs skew 30 to 50 and have been doing it for 10 years or longer. That is the majority right now.
Gray in my beard, like I'm 50. Like that's crazy. I thought I was 18 like a week ago.
Same.
I mean, we're like 30 years in.
Yeah.
30 years plus into our careers as like drum bass heads, electronic music artists. I mean, that's a considerable amount of time. Because when you think of the 80s and then like the music of the 50s, like that was kind of like the span, like the 50s and
that's
80s.
amazing.
It's funny if you watch movies in the 80s, there's this whole like resurgence on like Motown.
Yeah.
Right? We're like Footloose.
Hang on a second. Sorry, guys. I'm not sorry. I will never apologize for doing this.
That's like Motown. You know what I mean? So it's like now you have like DJs like Sherelle playing like 90s, like kind of 90s-ish tunes. And it's like we're kind of going through the same thing. Like the kids grew up and now they're taking over. And now they're like, nah, insert this. That's what we like. And
Yo, big up Deep. I'll catch you up in an elevator catch up. All right. First of all, mad love to Man Like Deep. We are watching Tik Tak interview UFO. These are two San Francisco triple dipple OGs talking about the good old days. And they're in 2/3 of the way in, and they're starting to get heavy and deep, pun intended. And so you're coming in after getting a history lesson on early San Francisco drum and bass happenings back in the 1900s, as the kids say.
That's what was happening in the 80s, like even in Hollywood. It's like, nah. Or even like American Graffiti. The reason why American Graffiti blew up so hard is because it was a nostalgic film that had the nostalgic music. And so people were like, yeah. It's almost like Lucas figured it out. Yeah.
I mean, seeing where you're at now.
Yeah.
I mean, like, where do you see yourself progressing, let's say, in the next year or two within music? Or how do you see, like, the scene growing?
Yes, for sure. For sure growing, right? We're definitely, I think we're all going into this mutated, uncharted territory as far as like the world is changing and we're giving life to these unknown entities that are a direct like thing from our own minds, which is artificial intelligence.
This is solid Ed talk for those that have known Ed for years. For those that have not, you're welcome.
It's an Ed talk, not a TED talk.
Let's enjoy this Ed talk, ladies and gentlemen. This is the homie right here. Real facts. This is not a show. This is the way that he is.
Hold on tight. It's a ride.
And there is a lot of depth and a lot of genuine like thought behind this. And
he's a smart ass man.
Smart ass person. He's just speaking on a different fucking plane.
On it, he's just ahead of us all. That's all I gotta say. Musically and mentally.
Incredible talent. Incredible talent. Yep.
The world is changing and we're giving life.
Straight up, dude. He's such a fucking vibe, bro. Like hanging out with him is outstanding. I spent many a nights having like late night into the sunrise conversations with this guy. Great dude.
To these unknown entities that are a direct like thing from our own minds, which is artificial intelligence. And so, like I said, Star Wars, like I always knew I was going to be a part of that, like kind of idea. I try not to like think about it too much. I still have this like teenage thing in my head that I'm like, just keep making the music and like it's all going to work out. I don't really, at this point, I think I worry about more like, can I finish this today? Can I get this album done this year? But I am very, very aware of how the music scene is changing. And dude, I think as long as we can like take over a room, put some speakers in it and bring people together, like I'm not like, yeah, it would be nice to like take over EDC or, play the main stage at Bangface. But like, right now I'm just more focused on like, I feel like I'm at my peak as a producer for the first time. Like I teach people how to use Ableton and how to like program. And I realize like the more I do that, the more I realize that I have like 10 ways to approach on how to finish a song. Not make one, but like literally like, bro, if you start here, this is what you get here. But if you start here, then this is what you get here. And if you start, and there's 4 different ways that you can make one DJ track. And then there's like 4 other ways that you can do that. And so it's trying to figure out, like, I'm almost cracking the code. And so now music to me is like, I can literally like, I know it. I just know where everything needs to go. And if I start with this, then this will equate to that. So, and now with the availability, like things like Serum and, and YouTube, it's just like all the information is out there, and now is like, oh my God. The only thing that is holding me back is my the fatigue of my ears, because I've been making and playing music for so long. Luckily, I'm really glad that I didn't become like a main stage DJ, because I have a feeling that a lot of those DJs, their ears are fucked. They can't even make music anymore. So because I've been in the trenches and kind of in the underground, it's almost like by default, I've saved my ears. It still heals. I just need like 4 days off. I'm gonna go be human for a while, or do some other things like arrange files or make videos and shit. But yeah, I mean,
matter. Those things.
Yeah, those things matter. Resting is thing. But you know, we have social media, and now I'm trying to figure out how can I show people myself without it being like fake, or like, I've always been a kind of a real ass person. I've never really been. Yeah, the only thing that's worked for me. You know, it's the only way. It's the way that I got where I'm at. Because I'm not trying to front. You know,
I'll vouch for that.
Yep.
But in a weird kind of way, like I was always meant for all this. That I was painting before I was making or playing music, and so that in itself is kind of the art form that I use in order to kind of represent myself. And so, you know, when you're graphing, bro, all you're doing is repping. So I learned how to edit audio. If you can edit audio, you can edit video. And it's like literally the same thing, except you do have to get like very intellectual, like, you know, you start to realize
Hearing aids with a T on them.
Like, oh shit, I have control over the narrative. Like I can literally make someone think something about me the way I cut the video and what kind of music I put behind it. And that's it. I'm just interested in being like, hey, I have some music to play that I would love to play for you. You should come to the party or download my album. Please let my music be a part of this small part in your life. Just like what Goldie did, just what Ronnie Size did, what Crust did. Like what they are to me.
Bro, if Triple Overhead was a storm chaser, I would totally watch that.
Right? When I listen to their music, I just get
You got to bring your metal detector, bro.
taken back. It's like a UFO time machine that you get taken back, and you're like, oh, I remember this fucking day, you know, or whatever. You just listen to it and you remember, and it takes you back. I'm interested in being part of your life for 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes of your life. I want my music to be part of the experience that you're having right now. And if I can take you away from the bullshit that we're all enduring, if I can just take you away for a second, and if you can feel like you're a part of this world, like because a lot of us don't
the sunglasses
feel, like
make
a lot
it.
of us
The
were
sunglasses
like,
complete
He's
this.
got like
This
a
is not
whole
like-
barrel
this
of
is
them, and he
fucked
brings
up,
them
but when
out
you
all the
listen to
time. for people.
music,
He loves sunglasses.
Yeah. He's got that's all. That's
He'll
all.
like
Tic Tac.
dress people up and say, he's like, nah, these aren't the vibe. And he'll pick the weirdest ones and be like, that's you right now.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
it's
you
awesome.
are a part of this. Like to me, that music makes sense of all the fucking bullshit and the chaos, and that's what, to me, putting music together.
People don't know. I will say it again. People do not know. Respect to church, man. Church is triple dipple OG out here. Like super duper.
A room and getting people
Look
together.
at-
Like
look
I
at
know
what
it's
I got.
fucked up right now, and it's always going to be fucked up. And I just
Hell
think
yeah.
being human, the
Love it.
experience of being
Sweater.
human,
I love it.
is tough. I think waking up every day is fucking tough. You get up, you're like, oh my god, you got to do it all over. Yeah,
Those
you gotta
aviators are crushing it.
maintain. Like Crust says, maintain. So
Well, how do you feel about being like someone's soundtrack? I mean, you are to a certain extent somebody's soundtrack. Like somebody is going through life, walking through life, and
Yeah.
here's your music
Yeah.
playing in the background. It's like their soundtrack.
yeah, I in some weird way, like you've allowed me into your
This is great.
like your house, into your heart, and in a weird way, it's like
I love this.
that's why I think I've never really been into like, oh, I gotta be the biggest. are not interested in that, because once you make the music, you realize like this is way bigger than, I've always, and like I've had to have a job, like, kicked out of the house, like at the age of like 17 or 16 so you just like eat less, buy less, you're in the trenches, and there's this like, luckily I haven't had kids because I would be the fucking worst dad or whatever, but you just, it's this thing that I don't really think about until like friends ask me, or you're like, yo, how does it feel? It's like, oh, right. And you're like, oh, I see how deep and how profound the whole thing with making music is. And even if AI and Spotify, like, has 1,000 artists that make music, like, I'm just still going to be making it, because if I can at least reach one or two people, it's not.
He's calling it too. Like, we're not even seeing it yet, but it's happening, and it's going to happen very fast. Where fake artists that are heavily marketed are going to start entering like the mainstream, like not as a joke, not as a meme. I'm talking about there's going to be record labels that are going to be producing fake artists that look amazing and sound amazing and have a hit song, and it could potentially like be something that is a chart topper.
Who allow me to play my song in your
AI influencers as well. Timberland is has an article happening. Yep, Timberland's doing something like that.
Or in your headphones for a little moment, so you can feel like it all makes sense. Then it's almost like, I always wonder when you die, they say that your life plays before your eyes, and if my music can be a part of your death reel of all these cool moments in life. Oh, what an amazing, like forget having children, dude. I just gave you a track for your cinematic like life kind of thing, for your trials and tribulations.
Yeah, speaking of AI, you think we would be able to, like, one day enter a prompt in AI, create a jungle tune?
Yeah.
Like UFO?
Yeah.
Legendary San Francisco.
Well, because when I teach people how to make music from like raw nothing, I realize that it's
signatures,
complexities. Well, see, I'd use AI, just to be like, give me a jungle music, but at 6/8.
Yeah.
And I think, I have a feeling that it's a tool, just like the computer was a tool, just like the drum machine was a tool.
I like his position.
And for me, I can say that because I make it. But there's a lot of people out there, like, there are going to be someone in 20 years that, like, I don't even touch Ableton. I just tell it what I want. But in a weird way, they're going to know music more than we do. I want a jungle track. Okay, then it's going to know, like, okay, 64 bar intro, 32 bar drop, right? Or, it's like all the numbers are there. The as long as it's 4/4, it's either 16, 32, or 64.
Right.
And that's it. And the intro and the drop are literally the whole song, because the breakdown is the intro and the drop is the second drop. Right. And so it's super easy. So like right now I'm like, oh, that's why I'm like, I wonder if I should connect Claude to Ableton and get in and just start like, so I bought like a super powerful computer where I'm like, I wonder if I can teach a system how to make music like me, learning off of my own music, and then, scrubbing my whole hard drive full of
Sapienist, I
from
think
the 90s
that
till now.
I think that, like in many things, there will be some who have the ability to use the same tools and have a output that is more popular or whatever than the next person. And like, who knows why? but I have a feeling that that kind of a thing will exist too. Like just kind of the way that technology has kind of always done along the way, where the things that were originally only in the hands of a few get into the hands of many. And from it, something entirely new happens. And there are people that are like really good at using this new thing in a new creative way.
I haven't done it yet. I know everything right now is like in experimental mode. But who knows? Maybe I can like teach a system how to make music, and when I die, it just keeps on making music.
The ghost in the machine.
Yeah.
Ghost in the shell, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole theory. The
Yeah.
Ghost in the shell.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna happen one day, to be honest.
I think it's happening right now.
I think it is happening.
Yeah.
Right now. I mean, that's.
I think that the audience, if the audience is trying to distinguish, then there will be a divided opinion. But I think at some point, the audience just simply won't care anymore, if that makes sense.
I think that's
Because they'll get over the newness of it, and it'll just be.
It's just be normal.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I try to help out where I give platforms to people to come through and play. You know, it's always been a vision, and it's always gonna be my vision, and I'm gonna do it and share it until I can't do it anymore. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I roll.
Yeah. It's like we came with the program.
Yeah.
The music program. Yeah. And we're in the 21st century, and we do what is around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say to young UFO right now, if you could tell young UFO?
That's a classic question.
In his time of struggle.
That's like a yearbook journal question.
What would your advice to young UFO? What would your advice be to young UFO if you saw him struggling right now?
I love it.
It's crazy. I always explain this to Blue. Don't let the mistakes in your life, or the mistakes that you at that moment you thought you had, don't let those things that when things don't go the way you want them to, don't.
Wait, what is gaping? Are you gaping tonight? That's a very specific question.
That seems sus as fuck.
Don't search for that.
Be kind to yourself. Literally, just show yourself love as if you had a child. Like, learn how to forgive, like on things that are done upon you, and then things that you have done to others because you didn't have the emotional intelligence or whatever. Because the world does need you.
Get your gape on.
And to me, that's not even that's just me speaking to younger people. Like, you are absolutely needed. You didn't.
Shouts out the gaping massive.
You didn't make it on Earth. It wasn't like it was a miracle that literally happened. And I think
all the gapists.
A tough part about being young is that it's really hard to understand how the bigger picture. And I felt like there was just a crazy part of my life where I was just aimless chaos, and it just comes with being a musician, and it comes anything, but yeah, I would be don't, there's just a lot of trials and tribulations, and a lot of those things are really when they come and they hit you hard, they're kind of there to make you into a more resilient person. And luckily I didn't fall into addiction or, luckily music was always I've done drugs, but I always had to be all right, I gotta so I can finish this fucking track. So,
well,
luckily I've always had music, and that's good. But I think I would tell my younger self, don't let the breakups, don't let the loss of friends, these things are all a natural part of life. Remember how many friends I felt we used to have.
Apostle coming in at an interesting time. Let me let y'all know. First of all, big up Apostle. Shouts out to Apostle. Anybody watching right now, if you could please follow Apostle. That is the homie right there, down there in San Diego. Big up, bruv. 916 down to the 619. You know it, homie. We are watching Tik Tak, who's right above me, and he is interviewing another San Francisco legend, UFO, who is sitting across the table. And we are maybe 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes away until finishing. And then from there, we might like look at a couple of stupid things on the internet, and then we'll be pretty much done. We're about 2.5 hours in. You already know we're late. Big up Apostle. We're wrapping up though. It's hard to catch you all the way up. Let's just say we're having an interesting and weird conversation, which is par for the course with my man UFO. And you're coming in right at peak time. Let's see what we got.
They used to be like 20, 30, 50 friends that we all were like, and as you get older, everyone kind of fits into their own like shape. Some have family, some die, some fall to drugs, some like move, you know, some you like idealisms kick in, and all of a sudden like, you know, you become like this political crazy person that's in, like deep into the QAnon, and or they move away. They tap out from reality. And to me, that was even breakups to me were like, fuck. You know, Funk Attack fell apart because me and Sage like broke up, you know, and I was like, that was like the end of my world. I was like, oh my God, like my favorite, you know, person in the world, like we're not together anymore. And that like screwed me up, but I needed that. I needed to grow up, and a lot of those things were like meant for you to like endure, and like through this endurance, if you can keep on going and stay calm, like you will make it. Like right now, I feel like I'm benefiting off of the endurance. I'm benefiting off all the fun and all the music and all the parties. Like now, I feel like I'm finally kind of I'm smooth sail right now. I really do feel like that's what's happening. So
that's awesome.
I would tell my younger self, like, hang in there, fucker. It's gonna get really good towards the very end, guy.
It's a marathon.
Yeah.
Not a sprint.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what's your current project right now that you maybe want to let everybody know about?
Yeah, man. You know, just still releasing things as UFO, always pushing the boundaries, trying new things out. I got this new project with Nick from Bro Safari, Evil Intent. We go into the name ET Finger. That's like definitely next level. To like, I approach that music like, all right, it's you know, this is it. It's so easy because he gives me like. He like takes 50% of the pressure away, because he always just sends like, here's an intro, here's a drop, bro, go to town. And it sounds like sick all the time. So that's always fun. Being Blue have a project called Art School Fantasies, and that's where we go into these worlds where like, imagine if we had rich parents and we went to art school and we just do whatever we want, and mommy and daddy are gonna put us on top. And we just make the craziest shit because we got money, but we don't. But we have this state of mind that we're so elite in this weird art world. Like, you know,
the trust fund mentality.
Yeah, straight up trust fund children. Like just act and play music and make art like a trust fund baby.
Yeah.
Which you can start to see now in my videos. Like the videos are starting to click because we're actually thinking like that. So it's really crazy. And
there's some rich ass kids that live in San Francisco.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Your current videos are a lot of fun.
I hope I can. Yeah, I hope I can. I hope I can keep that up. But yeah, there's you know,
like fucking rich ass kids.
I've been teaching a lot at Ableton. I've been teaching just all kinds of different, you know, CEOs at like crazy ass companies that were just like, I got money and I got time and I need to use my brain for something else, because if I don't, like, you could see these hyper intelligent like behemoth people that are like, And I was talking to one of the students, and I'm like, I see what you're doing. You're like, you want to figure out something new by doing something else. So you're like, then you go back to work and you figure out your whole system, but then
Yeah, there's
you
some
use
rich
this
ones in
part of your
Marin
brain,
County.
hoping that when you come back to your work that you
That's
have
where Huey Lewis is from.
like opening a new dimension inside your mind on how this works. So that's the interesting part of being in San Francisco, is that like you're really surrounded by a lot of like,
Don't hate on Huey Lewis.
kind of like Nikolai Tesla's industrialist computer, you know, lots of money out here, lots of innovation. And so
that's tight sleepiness.
You know, I would hope that I'm in that same realm, you know, cutting the cutting edge music out.
There's a lot of creative people here.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
On all different levels. But then there's also a lot of creative people that have moved out. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping that more creative people move back to San Francisco.
I think
more of that energy.
I think the rent's gonna go down in the next 3 to 4 years.
Down, especially
Yeah.
with like,
well, COVID, everyone left, and now all the white collar jobs supposedly are just gonna leave. And I was like, here we go. The artists are gonna move back in, and SF's gonna be grizzle and grime again.
the early 90s.
Like the early 90s, baby.
Yeah, like when Market Street was full of just graffiti.
Yeah.
Psycho City.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is it's going to be different too, because now there's going to be like drones, and there's going to be more cameras, and like, but I think rent's going to go down, and we're going to start seeing heads from Sacramento and San Jose, and hopefully there will be a new wave of artists, or just something, you know, hopefully more communal, more neighborhood, more, you know, like party, like as long as young people keep coming, there's always going to be parties.
Yeah. I think the new mayor is really into like electronic music. And
Yeah, I was talking to Mike Giant.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, I should talk to that dude. You know?
Yo, man, that man's a legend.
He's
man.
a legend.
I remember meeting him for the first time.
Yeah, he's so jungle. That's right. Yeah. He was at the club. Exactly. He was at the jungle.
He was the only person.
He was the only graffiti. Level. He was the only graffiti writer too, because everyone was like, what the hell is this wild shit? But yeah, Giant. Mike Giant, dude.
Yeah. No, he understood jungle. And
yes.
When I met him, and that was like, bro, that was like in like '94 when I met him, and he like, yeah, man, like I get all these jungle tapes from like the UK. And,
yeah, because he was living out there.
Yeah, and we were like, we were like listening to tunes together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike Giant's he's the bro, man.
Shout out to Mike, bro.
Yeah, shout outs to Mike. Well, just gonna wrap this up, but cool. Thanks for coming through and having this casual conversation with me.
Right on.
Yeah. So I hope you continue to do your thing. Church of Drum Bass will continue to support everything that you do, because I love what you do. Thank you for
it's official.
Being here.
It's official.
It's official.
Yeah. Thanks, dude.
Good shit,
man. Hell yeah.
All right. Until next time. Peace.
So I did one of these for them with Benny Page and Dope Ammo. I interviewed them. I had questions, and I did a whole thing in that studio, and it's just a matter of them editing it. So hopefully they will soon, and I was like, move over, Barbara Walters. I got this shit. Because I didn't know I was going to be doing it, but all of a sudden I just it's like, give me the questions. I was like interviewing them, and it was all fun. It was really cool. They had a lot of really cool information. I learned a lot from them. So I hope that ends up seeing the light of day.
Yeah, right.
It's really cool. Plus, Benny Page is like one of my favorite producers, so I'm just like, okay, tell me more. Anyway, oh yeah, and before you raid, I have to give you a song to play, so don't let me forget.
Let's do it. Let's hear it.
Okay, hang on. It's my raid song.
Okay.
I put it in the chat.
Okay, let's see what we got. Hang on a second here.
The song. I made it a while ago, but we haven't done this show in a while, so.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, let's do this. What's going on? That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. I got ahead of myself.
Hold tight for the raid, cause if you leave, it will be late. But the way to be, can't you see? Just wait there patiently, dude. You don't wanna be rude, cause if you stay, you could be making someone's day. It's just what the people do. Don't be a douche, can you do? Always find you. another stream. You don't have to stay that long. Keep the number up until we're there so we can pump the stream up. Is that so wrong? If you even give a fuck at the rate or you just suck. I promise the stream is hella cool. Don't be a fucking tool, dear. You drop you off here.
It's suppressing the audio.
Rating.
Oh, sorry. Let me fix that. It's suppressing the audio. Thank you for telling me. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad.
Oh yeah. I just thought it was on my end because
No, we good. All right, here we go. One more again from the tippy.
Hold tight for the raid, cause if you leave, it will be lame. That's not the way to be, can't you see? Just wait there patiently, dude. You don't wanna be rude.
Should be better now.
If you stay, you could be making someone's day. It's just what the people do. Don't be a douche canoe, dude. Karma always finds you. So when you raid into another stream, you don't have to stay that long. Just keep the number up until we're there so we can pump the stream up. Is that so wrong? So if you even give a fuck, respect the raid or you just suck. I promise the stream is hella cool. Don't be a fucking tool, dear. Let me drop you off here. Rating, it's just what the people do, cause that shit all comes back to you. It's the way to give props to your community, cause if you don't raid, then no one raids you. That's how this whole streaming thing works, unless we're all acting like jerks. You can watch porn in a little bit, don't be a little shit, babe. Hold tight for the raid. So now you know how rating goes, and you can't act like you don't know. When this stream is done, we can rate into someone. This is gonna be fun.
Amazing. Amazing.
thanks.
That's so good. It's so good.
It teaches a lesson, you know. It gives you time to raid, you know. Like
It's perfect.
it tells people not to leave because you know people be leaving and shit when you say it's their last
Don't
song.
be leaving. We're heading into
No.
Beersy. Make sure you guys say hi to Beers and Beats.
Yeah, exactly.
And drop some emotes and say what's up. He'll probably do the Sac Tech Exchange thing with my long hair, saying that you can buy USB cables or some shit. It's freaking pretty hilarious. He likes to troll. Love you guys. See you at the next one. We'll be live on Saturday for Inside the Ride. Take a look for the flyer, and we'll see you then. Till then, bye.